This is Johnny Venezia with RotoWire. We're talking 4 players that I believe are undervalued based on their ADP in 2025. First up, let's go with the king. That is King Henry. Derrick Henry is currently RB6, ADP 12. And yes, even though he's mocked as a first rounder right now, I still believe he's being undervalued because what I've noticed in the last 4 years is every single season has tried to predict Henry falling off a cliff. Every year it's, oh, he's getting older. Oh, you know what? He's lost a step, or oh, this, oh, that. But every single year, Derrick Henry exceeds expectations. So let's talk about it. 325 carries, 1,921 yards, 16 scores in 2024. He's got 7 straight 10 touchdown seasons. Let's call it what it is. The Baltimore Ravens offense, I don't care how good Lamar Jackson's played the last 2 years, this offense still runs through the king. Now, I understand it. Derrick Henry is in his early 30s, but the guy hasn't slowed down. He's still the goal line daddy. He's still ripping off chunk plays. And yes, a lot of it has to do with Lamar and the wide receivers and the scheme, 100%. But Derrick Henry is still the king. This is a guy that is probably going to be 1,200 plus yards at the bare minimum if he stays healthy, and 10 touchdowns again. But I'd imagine it's going to be a lot more than that. Ultimately, I don't know why we're doing this to ourselves, where it's like Derrick Henry might slide into the early second round. We see him every year fall out of the first. He's not a top 6, top 8 pick. I think Derrick Henry is definitely one of those guys that is undervalued, and there's not many players that I want over the king on my fantasy team in 2025. Listen, when the fall off finally happens, so be it. It was an unbelievable Hall of Fame run, but I'm not ready to say this is the end. I think Derrick Henry has at least 1 or 2 more very Hall of Fame type of years left. Next up, let's go Big Mike. Mike Evans is ADP 40, wide receiver 18, coming off a 74 catch, 1,004 yard, 11 touchdown season in only 14 games. Mike Evans has 4 double-digit touchdown seasons in his last 5 years. The truth is, he's still number 1 in a great offense. Chris Godwin is still there. Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State was drafted. Like him a lot as well. They got Bucky Irving in the backfield. There's a lot to like about Tampa Bay's offense, but Mike Evans is still the wide receiver 1. Yes, Liam Cohen's gone after losing Dave Canales a couple years ago. But Baker Mayfield, I think, is going to lean on Big Mike. You know, when it comes to the goal line, this is who they go to. They always draw up those high fades, 1v1. Evans can still make the chunk plays, and he missed a couple games last year. Otherwise, he's probably going for 1,200 yards. But I think Mike Evans is being undervalued here. This is a guy who's almost pushing in outside the wide receiver 20 position. I mean, I get it. Listen, Evans is getting older. This is a guy who's been in the league a long time, but Evans still makes plays. He still can have those big games where he goes off for $150 and 2 scores. And I think the fact is, where you're looking at ADP 40, Mike Evans is trending around a wide receiver 2, depending on how you draft. And ultimately, I think Mike Evans is in for another good year. I still think he's going to have another 1,000-yard season. And I feel like the fact is, we're kind of writing him off, maybe because he didn't look as explosive as he's looked in years past. But I think with Baker Mayfield really finding his own in the NFL and is basically his second life here, it's really helped with Evans and the connection that they have, because I feel like they're keeping each other young. I really do. And I think Mike Evans is definitely somebody that's being undervalued. He is somebody that I absolutely want on my fantasy team in 2025. If you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And right now, RotoWire is going to give you 15% off of any product at rotowire.com. That includes our fantasy football rankings, our draft kit, as well as access to our experts for those tough start sit decisions on Sunday mornings. Use code YouTube15 at checkout. Quarterback time. Dak Prescott coming off an injury. Pretty bad. He missed most of 2024. He's QB 13. ADP is 108. But the reports are he looks good. He's moving well in camp. He has the makings of a guy who looks 10 years younger than he actually is. And let's call it what it is. Dak Prescott's only a couple of years removed from a 4,500-yard, 36 touchdown season. He's got weapons. He's got CeeDee Lamb. He's got George Pickens now. I feel like what we're looking here for the Dallas Cowboys is going to be something where they're going to be throwing the ball a lot like they used to. I feel like Dak Prescott still has a lot of good fantasy football years left in him. And ultimately, the truth is, I feel like this is a guy that could do a lot of good things and put up some big numbers. It wouldn't surprise me if Dak Prescott finishes close to the top 5 for fantasy QBs this year. I could see some big season output from him and a lot of those winning week-to-week matchups where he's putting up 35, 40 points because he had a butter matchup and he went off. And the truth is, if Prescott's healthy, QB 13's a steal. So he's definitely being undervalued. It's a little bit of a gamble, I guess, just because of the injury risk. But based on what I've been hearing, he's good to go. And Dallas Cowboys, I think they're going to be throwing the ball a lot this year. Getting back to what they did a couple of years ago when Prescott was on pace for that monster season. So I feel like Dak Prescott's definitely somebody that I'm keeping my eye on for the 2025 campaign. Last but not least, Calvin Ridley, wide receiver 30, DP 72, 64 catches, 1,017 yards, 4 touchdowns last year in a mess that was the Tennessee Titans offense with different quarterbacks and Will Levis this and Mason Rudolph that, whatever. Cam Ward's in town. This is Cam Ward's show right now. I feel like the fact is Calvin Ridley, he still had a solid year considering what was going on with the Titans last year. He's still got speed. He's explosive. He's a great route runner. This is a guy that I think will do really well with Cam Ward. He's still the wide receiver 1 in Tennessee. And the fact is, you're getting a guy who's going to be maybe a 7th rounder, possibly 8th, depending on if he falls. This is a guy that I think very well could be 80 catches, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. And that's what you're getting as a wide receiver 3, maybe wide receiver 4, depending on how you're drafting. So I feel like Calvin Ridley being so far down the board with the potential to do very well with Cam Ward this year, definitely somebody that I'm keeping an eye on as well. Taking a look at him, I just feel like this is a guy that is still too talented and still has a really good opportunity, and we're sleeping on him a little bit.